Yep, that looks like Hanoi, doesn't it? What is up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're doing another track on the F1 2020 calendar. We're racing around the streets of Vietnam in Hanoi, the Vietnam Grand Prix, but it's the streets of Hanoi. God, I'm so good at commentating. You'll struggle to find a single video on my channel where I don't make a mistake. But anyway, here we are for this first look at this racetrack. We've seen some, kind of preview videos on the F1 channel. And yeah, I just thought I'd drive around this circuit, have a go at it myself. It's a mod on Assetto Corsa. So if I've been a good YouTuber, I'll leave a link to the mod down in the description. You can play it for yourself. But bear in mind, the track is very bare. The track itself in real life has not even been made yet. So bear that in mind. This poor mod maker, it's going to be bare. There's not going to be much to it. I remember driving on Assetto Corsa around the Sochi circuit in Russia. It was like 5-6 years ago, or something ridiculous like that. And I, for the life of me, thought, like, how is this going to be a racetrack? All that there was a road and some barriers, much like you're seeing right now. And I could never picture the race looking that good or being that good. But now with hindsight, we know that it looks kind of good. Anyway, I'm hoping that this is going to be a pretty picturesque circuit once we get there next year. So, we're driving the Williams. Unfortunately, with this track, I took the piss out of Zandvoort yesterday for only having 18 pit stalls. This one has none. We don't even have a pit stall here. Not a single one. So we can't even race against AI in this video, which is a real shame. Yep, the mod maker didn't build pit garages. So, yeah. We've just got us to play with today. But we're going to have a little play around here today. I need to turn my headset down because that is something that's going to deafen me for sure. But let's head out there. We're actually going to be... Oh, that's bumpy. We're in a Williams. We're actually going to win the race. We're going to get pole position as well. Quite simply because we are the only one contesting this session. Oh my goodness. The force feedback is very, very strong. So, yeah. Probably not an optimized circuit, it must be said. I think this is the really long straight that kind of takes you out to Narnia and back. It's like a little loop. Yep, that's very, very bumpy. Remains to be seen whether this is an undulated circuit or not. I think it's going to be pretty flat, to be honest. Those curves certainly don't feel like they are flat. I'm going to put my headset on. I'm actually not listening to my engine, so let's do that. That's what happens when I take my hand off the wheel. So don't do that, kiddies. And away we go for the toothpaste car Grand Prix. I'm getting some serious I'm getting some serious flashbacks to the 2005 US Grand Prix. How there was only 5 people taking part. We've got 11 minutes here left in qualifying, and I'm under pressure, ladies and gentlemen. I need to get out of Q1 and get pole position. Why would there even be a Q2 and Q3? I don't know. I'm opening DRS, which is something I didn't even manage in the last video. So, progress. Now we're getting into the twisty stuff. This is where the swamp area is. If you look hard enough, you might find Shrek somewhere. Here we go. This part of the circuit isn't even like built yet, which is pretty darn crazy. Now coming up to, I think this is the last sequence of corners. Reminiscent of like Malaysia, the second last corner, how it just goes on and on and on. It's really awkward. Let's open DRS. And this is the start-finish straight, I believe. And that is... Oh my god, I'm on the wrong side of the circuit. You love that, don't you? When you're playing on a new circuit for the last time, you have no idea which way the next corner is. And you're on the wrong side. Completely stuffs up your run for the next one. And that's just lap over, isn't it? I remember doing my first laps of Baku. And we did testing for F1 2016, I think, at Codemasters, and the track was in a very, very early build. The lighting wasn't great. You could barely see where you were going sometimes. So I was like, oh crap, that's a corner. I've completely missed it, and I've gone up an escape road. It was quite crazy. It was like the Looney Tunes, how like Roadrunner would like paint up a fake road, and it would look like that's the way you're supposed to go, but you run into a wall. That was me during testing, my very first laps of Baku, so that was fun. But I'm looking forward to the challenge of a new circuit. Zandvoort, it's a returning circuit. It kind of feels new to me on the F1, well, when it will be on the F1 game next year. But here in Hanoi, this is a completely new challenge, one of which I'm looking forward to. They said that this was reminiscent of like the S curves through Suzuka, Sector 1. I don't quite get that, though of course this isn't the finished product. It just looks like a whole sequence of different little kinks there, to be honest. Anyway, braking for turn 1. I don't even know what my lap time is. We'll have to check that once we get back to the pits, but this time I'm hoping to get a much more flowing run in. I've changed the setup as well. I've lowered the front wing, increased the rear downforce to make the car a little bit more stable. Doesn't look like it's working at the moment, but I've just made it a little bit more comfortable, and we're not really fighting for position here, so I can afford to go on a little bit of a Sunday drive. But in saying that, I want to attack this circuit as much as I humanly can. Open the DRS again. Need to remember to do that bend. Doesn't feel like an overly long lap time either, which is good. Some tracks, they just seem to like drag on forever and ever, like this straight here. Anyway, braking. I've missed it again. You love to see it. I think I'm in neutral. No, I'm not. Second gear. We're fine. Don't touch the curb. This looks like it has the potential to be a really big amphitheater with the crowd there. And back into the twisty stuff. This opening part kind of, they said it reminds you of Monaco running up the hill after turn 1. Now this is, again, the twisty bit with Suzuka. I don't know, I can't keep the flow up, so it's hard to say. I am driving a Williams, to be fair. Through to the awkward last corner. Try and keep a wide berth and then swing into the final corner. Open the DRS, and that is another lap of the Hanoi circuit. I'm on the wrong side. So I'm going to stop here, and we are going to return to the pits. 1 minute 34.1. Oh dear. Oh dear, Arav. I just watched, or just glanced through your video that you made last year. He did a 15-minute video. He did a 35.1. I've done 2 laps, 3 laps. 34.1. Hashtag get mugged. I'd click on Jimmy Broadbent's video, but last time we did comparisons, it didn't end well for me, so we're not going to do that. Ah! Why do I do this? I press random buttons trying to bring up different telemetry points, and I close the game. You love to see it. Anyway, here's a beautiful view of the toothpaste car. I'm going to continue to press buttons in the hope that I can bring up different things. Oh, that looks cool. Thumbnail.com. I don't know what I've done. I really don't know what... Oh, hello! I've not seen this before. Jesus. Assetto Corsa. You've got these hidden camera views from me, which I couldn't select with my wheel. That's a screenshot. Get the paparazzi out of here. Not really sure what's happened. I accidentally stopped recording when I was fiddling around with buttons about 20 minutes ago, so you have missed my fastest lap. So I'm going to have to record this again and show you an updated lap. But for comparison's sake, I actually did go and look at Jimmy Broadbent's video, and he did a 34.4, which is really strange to me because he's really fast on the Assetto Corsa. I'm nowhere near his level. So I don't know what I had for breakfast this morning. It certainly wasn't porridge. But one thing I will say is I've been having cereal lately, which if you know me personally, I bloody hate having cereal, but now I'm starting to get into it. So maybe it's starting to have an effect. Who bloody knows at this point, but we're going to have another lap. Am I going the wrong way? This feels different. I feel like I might be going the wrong way. Serial.exe has stopped working. I'm going the wrong way. I am going the wrong way. I'm such an idiot. These F1 tracks, man, with their backwards nature. Oh my god, now I am going backwards again. Or am I going the right way? Who bloody knows at this point? 40 seconds left. to get this flying lap in. And there are no guarantees, and I'm going to get it in anyway. Right, so we're on pole for the Hanoi Grand Prix. It's Benjamin Daly commentating for you today for the most lively F1 race you're ever going to see. We've got 5 laps of this amazing circuit here to tackle. Will we win this race, or will we bottle it? 6 red lights and away we go for the Vietnam Grand Prix, the inaugural one. Open the DRS on the run into turn 1 because that is realistic. We are uncontested as we head through turn 1. Williams looking likely to take a historic win here in Hanoi. All the other cars just had compatibility problems. It was the steering wheels that they had. They weren't running enough lock, and they just couldn't get around the corners. That's why they're not taking part in this Grand Prix. But I, Benjamin Daly, brought together a special steering rack for this race, which means I am able to compete. Someone please stop me, I'm just talking out of my ass here. That's really annoying, my brake pedal is now making noises. That's absolutely no noise in comparison to the noise that my wheel makes when I run over any kind of curb. But here we go, flying lap this time. No mistakes. I want to beat my 33.8 that I did in qualifying. Just about legal. That's probably not legal, but that's pretty much on the limits of me keeping it legal. Run into the big boy back straight with what I like to call a roundabout kind of looking corner. If you look at it on the... Oh, that's a corner cut. If you look at it on the track map, it looks like a bloody roundabout here. And here we go. Stretching the legs of this Mercedes-powered Williams. I spent the entirety of that straight thinking about whether I actually got that statement right, but yes, I actually did get it right in fact. I'm an idiot. Here we go. Coming towards the more technical part of the circuit once again, as I say every single time we get to this part. Flick it in, no mistakes. Trying to carry as much speed as I can, running a little bit less downforce than what the default setup is, so making the most of the straights while still carrying a decent amount of cornering speed. I really fluff that up. Delicate exit of the final corner. Ignore the earthquake as you go over the curb at the final corner and across the line. That's a 32.6. A 1 minute 32.6 around the Hanoi GP circuit. That's a pretty tasty lap, if I do say so myself. I'll certainly take that. Though in saying that, there's still a lot more time to find. You know, this lap itself, there was a couple corner cuts, slight ones, but with a clean lap, I think I could still go faster. I think we could easily go into the 31s if we really put the time and graft into it. And then you've got setup changes to make further to that. So I think someone who is good at this game and good at setups could do like a 29, I think. I'd be willing to bet that. But there we go. That is the Hanoi GP circuit here in Vietnam. Once you get into the flow of it, I think it's a really fun circuit. I feel like overtaking should be possible, hopefully. But who bloody knows until you actually get to the circuit and race it for yourself. It certainly is exciting when you see a new F1, a completely new F1 track come to the series. So I'll be watching it with interest. Hopefully you guys will as well. Sorry that there wasn't any actual racing against AI. That was just out of my control today. There's no pit garages, so by that logic, you can't stick any AI in these races, unfortunately. But that's it from me today. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to see plenty more F1 and racing game content. I plan to do a few more mods with Assetto Corsa before F1 2019 is out. I think I'm going to still continue to play around with the track mods. I think I'm going to race at Adelaide next with modern F1 cars and ask the question about whether Formula 1 should return to Adelaide. If you want to see that, let me know, and I'll see you guys for a brand new video very soon. Oh! All I did was let go of my wheel and KO. GG.